Hello. Question number 1. This is on the subreddit called Love. Question: what is this feeling? I'm 17 and he's 16. He's good at sports and I'm good at academic. He's friendly and I'm not. Only 2 friends. We've talked once, only a few words exchanged, and greet each other with a nod 3 times. Such a small interaction.
What does that even mean? 3 times?
Such a small interaction, but I've been thinking about him for 3 weeks straight. I heard he laughed once, and there is just something about it that makes me want to hear it again. His smile, too. He's not handsome or anything, but there is something attractive about him. Something that I don't even know what. I think it's his aura? I don't know. But there is surely something is attracting me. I accidentally locked eyes with him a few times because I can look away and I'm worried he might find me weird AF. I want to know, do I like him or is there something greater? What am I feeling?
Which is clearly infatuation.
I don't know if it's a she or it's a he.
Oh, really? Doesn't it say
I have a feeling this is a he. I don't know why.
18 female or something?
No, it just says I'm 17 and he's 16. It didn't say the gender.
What does that mean, a 3 nods? Like,
I don't know.
I'm trying to like...
Well, I immediately I was reading this, I was like, this is a young person. I don't know why I can tell.
Well, they said they're 17.
Yeah, but like I forgot about that part and then I remember. I don't know. This could be infatuation. This could be just like a crush. Why do you feel attracted to them? It could be for 1,000,001 things. Like, you don't know. What you find attractive depends a lot on your upbringing, right?
Yeah.
And what you've been conditioned to find attractive. Like, there's so many things like go into like what you find attractive. Is it love? It could be that you're feeling love for them, but it sounds like you don't really know them very well. So I feel like when you don't really know somebody and you're feeling like this, like butterfly feelings, is often like infatuation. But I think you don't have to define what you're feeling. You know, like I feel like what you're saying is you saying what you're feeling. Like you don't have to label what you're feeling as like, is it love? Is it attraction? Is it, you know, I'd say probably infatuation or...
They should definitely let them know they want to be friends. Try to spend more time together, get to know each other more.
Yeah, I guess you can like try to get to know them more and see if that lingers. So somebody in the comments says, that's love, and then the person who posted the question says, really? I'm young and he's young too, so I don't think it can be love. Love is a big thing, so I think it kind of doesn't make sense. I don't know. So unpopular opinion, I think people have this perspective that, I don't know if I should look at myself or the camera. Okay. People have this
Idea.
I feel like a lot of people have, especially older people, have this perspective that when you're young, you're not capable of feeling love, and that whatever you feel is not love. I disagree with that because I feel like the younger we are, the less trauma we have. So the less trauma we have, the more vulnerable and more open we are to feeling love. And I do agree that love is a big thing in the sense that love is a feeling and an action, right? And sometimes somebody can have the feeling and not have the action, right? Or do the action and not have the feeling. But I feel like love is those two things together. So it's not that feeling love, the feeling of love is not love. It's love. It's just not being expressed yet. Does that make sense? So a lot of people, as they get older, people have this perspective that love is not just a feeling. So if you are an 8-year-old boy and you have a crush on this girl and you feel like you love her, you don't love her. You know, and I feel like, well, yes and no. Like, yes, because sometimes that 8-year-old is more loving and more capable of loving than a 70-year-old man that's been married and has 8 kids, right? Because of your vulnerability and your openness. So your feeling of love is, I don't believe like, oh, it's just not love because you're young. A lot of times I think even like talking with old people, like their experience of love emotionally was very much attached to when they were really young, right? Because we're so vulnerable, we're so open, we're so like our heart is like out of us, like just like it's just so desperate, right? And I feel like sometimes like as we get older and we have hurtful experiences, we can like protect that heart and hide it, right? And sometimes like our perspective of love become very like rationalized and like, strange, because it's like kind of like we don't want to put our heart out there because we want to get hurt. So my point is that it could be the beginning of love, because I feel like love starts from a feeling. But of course, like, you need to get to know somebody and see if those feelings still there, and your ability to be able to express those feelings in a healthy way. That's what I think love is about. Is how do I express my feelings in a way that can get to the other person and they can feel that and then they can respond to that, and then there's a give and take, and that's what the big love that I guess you're talking about when you say love is a big thing. Okay, good answer.
Yeah.
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 I am a 24-year-old female and my boyfriend is 28-year-old male. Okay, my boyfriend is upset I'm going out with a new male friend. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years now. I love him dearly and I spend most of my time with him. I don't have too much friends to hang out with, and I recently met up this guy, 31-year-old male, at a doc's appointment. Weird. Just imagining, how do you... Okay, we met like a week ago and we've been talking since. He seems like a nice person and we seem to enjoy similar things. I told him already I'm in a relationship of 2 years and how in love with my boyfriend I am. He told me he was going to go get a tattoo and he told me for me to go with him and then just go walking for a while and talk.
That sounds like a date.
I told my boyfriend about this, and my boyfriend says he's not the jealous type, but he said he doesn't trust the guy, even though he really doesn't have any reason not to. He's biased.
So
He
I feel like
says...
that's a pretty romantic... I don't know,
Okay,
romantic,
let me
but,
finish.
like, intimate thing to do
He
on a first
says
date.
a guy doesn't go out with a girl with the intentions of being just a friend. I told him to tell me if he was really bothered by this, and I wouldn't go. And he told me he didn't want to control me, but he still is off. I don't know what to do. Any advice?
Those are clearly dating moves.
I feel like I'm gonna be honest, I think this sounds like a little bit like a date, right? Because like it's him saying like you guys are gonna just, and then go get the tattoo and they just go for a walk and like talk, and like this just sounds like...
Also, where is that tattoo going on his body? Is he gonna be, naked?
Like on his chest, like on his abdomen and the bottom.
Yeah. Between his butt cheeks.
I feel like it's really reasonable for your boyfriend to feel like weird about this. But I definitely think he's bothered by this, but he's like, yeah, I don't want to control you. But it's like it's like the joke of like when the wife says like, do whatever you want. yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah, you can go. Like, it's like, she doesn't mean to whatever you want. So I feel like him saying like, yeah, no, like whatever, it's okay, whatever, I don't want to control you, but it bothers me. Like, I feel like it's him like, are you gonna go? Like, yeah. So I feel like clearly he's bothered by this. So I feel like if he's bothered by this and you care about him, maybe you shouldn't go. but also I feel like you can go because it's like, I don't know, like...
He should go with you. If all three of them go, it's totally fine. But I bet you that the third guy, not the third guy, the guy, the tattoo guy, the date.
Yeah.
I bet you he would be kind of disappointed or frustrated if she brought her boyfriend.
Yeah. I also think that to keep in mind, anyway. No, I was gonna say something and I was like, well, she said it's a friend. Okay, yeah. Yeah, girl. I don't know. I think go or not go. Don't go with him.
That's not advice.
Go with him.
Go. I needed help making a decision.
Do you, boo?
Go or don't go.
I just feel like she wants to go.
Well, clearly, because she's asking him. If she didn't want to go, she wouldn't ask him. So she obviously wants to go.
I feel like you need to be really honest with yourself and really look into your heart. You know, like the parts idea, like all of your parts, okay? And think like, why are you interested in going to get with this guy? Like, if you love your boyfriend so much, like, why do you want to go? Like, why did you give him your number? Like, this is not like, this is a person that you met at a doctor's appointment. Like, that's kind of random, right? So it's like, ask yourself, like, why? Because I guess you having a chat with somebody at the like waiting, for your doctor's appointment, but that doesn't mean you're gonna give them your number.
Yeah. Then you're like, bye, stranger. See you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, nice, goodbye.
Yeah.
But so it's just like, I feel like just really, maybe journal about it. Just you need to be like a little bit honest with yourself.
Yeah. Are you attracted to him?
Like, are you attracted to him? Like what is it? Because this is not like a person that has been friend with you for a long time. This is like somebody that you met at a doctor's appointment. Like, that's kind of like...
Also, I feel like a tattoo date is a very intimate thing, in my opinion. Because a tattoo is something that you're going to get, and it's going to be on your body forever. And you're telling you, this person, I want you to be here with me. And then kind of like...
Well, if they have a lot of tattoos, then it's like...
Yeah. Kind of doesn't really mean anything at the same time, if it depends on the person, right? But I feel like also, like, on like an animalistic level, it's like... come be vulnerable with me because I'm going to be sitting here for a long time. I don't know. I think it's intimate.
Maybe.
How would you feel if I was like, oh, I met this girl while I went to go pick up the car from the shop. She gave me her number and she's going to go get a tattoo. She wants to go with her and then we'll like go for a walk and talk after. You would feel like I'm going on a date. Because that's exactly what that sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like a date.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, though, because I don't know. I try to be nice, okay? Okay, so this person is venting, which, okay, it's not so long. This is on dating. Officially going to stop with dating. People play way too many games. It's been a struggle. Last guy I'm dating, things went well, and he said he's more into something casual. When I talked to him once, he ghosted. Came back again and we met and proceeded to ghost after again. Okay. Like, if you're not interested, just say so and let me move on. Even if it's casual. Other guy before him, I was interested in, and he declined meeting me twice. We had been talking and had a good date. Totally lost interest, and now he texts me up every other week talking about where you been, etc. And why did you disappear? ... No comment. Anyways, I'm deciding I don't have the mental energy anymore. It feels freeing to let go, actually.
Yeah. I think for the guy who like disappeared and then came back and was like, hey, where you been? He's like, that guy was probably dating multiple people at the same time. And you were the least interesting at that moment, and he was busy with someone else, and then it didn't work out, and you were his fallback, right? Because, like, what has he been doing for 2 weeks? If he went on, like, a work trip or something, he'd tell you. But, like, if he was interested, because he doesn't want to lose you in those 2 weeks that he's gone, right? So he'd be like, hey, I'm going to be in another country, so I won't be able to message you, in a couple weeks. Just so you know.
So a lot of people just saying like, yeah, dating sucks. It's just a waste of time. It's just a bunch of games. Nobody wants anything serious. And la 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 la.
Yeah.
And other people are like, oh my God, so you're quitting dating just because 2 guys? Oh my God, you're so stupid. I don't want to live in a world where dating is not a numbers game. I believe it all starts with personal growth. I've been with a guy who dated lots of girls. For him, it's about finding the right one. For me, it was about being loved. Okay, so this is a problem. That we assume that we are all talking about the same thing. For some people, dating means fooling around.
Yeah, just having sex.
Like, it's just meeting people, having sex. I talk to so-and-so, go with so-and-so, go with so-and-so, and I'm just like, woo! Like, that's what they think dating is. For some people, dating is like, I'm on a mission. Yeah. I'm gonna find my wife, I'm gonna find my husband, I'm gonna find the mother of my kids. And for other people, it's just like, it's a hookup, it's just having a one-night stand, or it's a short relationship, or it's like, I don't know, they're waiting for their boyfriend for the military to come and they just need somebody. Like, you know, like, so I feel like the problem is like everybody has a different definition kind of what dating is, but we all use the same word. So it gets really confusing. First of all, I want to say that I'm really sorry that you were ghosted like 2 times and like just, you know, just like feeling like a yo-yo and people just like playing with your feelings and you're like wasting your time. That sounds really stressful and really exhausting. And I know, right? Like life would be so much easy if everyone just expressed everything, you know? Yeah. If the person who's just, listen, I just wanna have a one night stand, and like they will find somebody that wants to have a one night stand and that's it. But the problem is like people are not honest, so then you have to like play this mind games where like you're trying to break this code of like, what do they want? Like, what does this mean? Is this that? Like, it's just really confusing. I honestly don't know what to tell you because you're just venting, so you're not asking for it. I'm just really sorry. I think your feelings are really valid because there's a lot of craziness about dating. And I don't think you're crazy or anything. And if you want to quit dating, then quit dating.
Just take a break, yeah.
Just take a break, and then maybe later you'll feel different. And yeah, you don't have, you know, life is changing, and yeah, that sucks. No, it's not that long. I have, this is called TruOffMyChest. So it's like people write something that, and it's often something bad. Okay, so I have everything I need to ruin an engagement. Basically, to preface, right? Preface. To preface, I know I'm in the wrong as well, and I did everything willingly. Okay, that's good. Taking ownership, very good. Basically, in late June, I met a guy, and let's just say he's double my age. You didn't say he's just double my age. You said, let's just say he's double my age.
Oh, yeah.
Is he triple your age? He told me he has a fiance, and this whole sub story about how she's a horrible person, and he wants to cheat on her before their wedding.
Why does he just...
Red flag. This is his fiance, and he's saying that his fiance is a horrible person and that he wants to cheat on her because she's a horrible person.
But he's still gonna marry her.
To me, this is talking about him and his morals and his lack of integrity. If he could just break the engagement with his fiance and go like, this is so like it's a red flag that he wants to cheat on her because he could just break up on her. It's a red flag that he's talking bad about his fiance because his fiance is his fiance. Like, he chose that person to marry. So that is, anyway, okay. This is already really bad. The day he lied about, what is BTW? By the way. The day he lied about, by the way. He never told me a name, never told me any identifying features, and it was a that. Okay. I had sex with this guy twice. And each time we spent time with each other, he would tell me these stories about she's bipolar and crazy, and also had these conversations with me over the phone, which I'm now pretty sure were just pure lies and BS. The final time we hooked up, he invited me over to his house and sent me a random address, which I also found out was a lie. I got blacked out drunk in my car before meeting with him in his car, and we went back to his place, and most of it was a blur besides him recording a video of me performing some sex act on him. Okay? Which I also remember because I also remember because of the flash from his phone. I'm a minor, and his fiance's name on a package.
She's a minor?
She's a minor.
So she's under 18.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. She's saying he's a minor.
And he's double.
She said he's double. More. She said, let's just say he's double my age.
Where are her parents?
He also took my weed, which is trashy. But not the point. You see, of all this stuff, the worst is he took your weed. That is the problem. He took your weed. This guy is so trashy. Because he took the weed. The next day he tells me this whole spill of how he thinks I'm in love with him and all this other BS, and I just ghosted him after that. Good job. I'm pretty sure something else happened, but good for that. Fast forward to yesterday morning. I was hangover and felt, wow, girl, you drink a lot. I was hangover and felt so angry with him and myself, so I wanted to find his fiance and tell her everything. I searched up the address he claimed to live at, and names and house sale dates weren't matching up, so I went into a deeper dig, and I realized I had a picture in my camera roll which had the location in it. This fly is killing me. I bought a White Pages subscription, and lo and behold, I found, in capitals, everything. A public wedding website with registries and an RSVP page. The location of their wedding and every single thing he said was debunked to be a lie. Her phone number, his phone number, full name, family names. This man lied about absolutely everything. Now I'm planning on trying to get him to see me tomorrow so I can gather more evidence than the stuff that I do have and ruin his engagement for good. First, I think I want to congratulate you for just ghosting him. That it takes so much maturity, and that's so great. I feel like him filming you while you were drunk, that sounds like sexual assault, because if you're drunk, you cannot consent to something. If you're drunk, you're gonna
I mean, if she's a minor, she cannot consent to sex with an adult.
That's another thing, because if you're a minor and he's an adult and much, much older than you, this sounds... He can go to prison for this. This is really bad. I think if you want to find the lady and tell her everything, I think that's fine. But don't expect anything, because she might get angry at you and because the same way that he was lying and manipulating you, he could be doing the same thing to his fiance, right? Because that's just what he does. So he could brainwash her into she's crazy, she seduced me, she's not a minor, she's whatever, I don't know, the craziest stuff. Somebody would lie about this amount of stuff, they will lie about everything. You know what I mean?
So you want to save pictures of your conversations.
Yeah, but even if she could still not believe her, and there's nothing you can do.
And then you send her an email with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of anonymously,
Yeah, I would do that. I would send it anonymously.
Yeah.
Because then she cannot be angry at anyone but him.
Yeah.
So.
Just make a burner email. you know, and then just send it through the email of just be like with all the screenshots and explanation.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to mention that you're a minor. Any healthy woman finds out their partner has been having sex with minors, that's gonna have an impact on their opinion of them. You don't think so?
No, I think there's a lot of people that would blame the victim because that's something what people do.
Oh, you poor thing, that minor seduced
No. They would say that like the minor seduced him. You have no idea how many times I've heard that. That is like she's a minor, but she knows a lot about sex, so she's not really a minor. Making them look like more mature than they are and stuff. Anyway, and above anything, I beg you to not get into relationships with people older than you. Like,
also, if you're gonna gather more evidence, be careful. You never know; he could be a little more crazy than you think. And so if he finds out that...
I think she should tell her parents. If she has a parent or a guardian or something.
Yeah.
Like...
someone who cares.
Yeah. This is... I feel like oftentimes the stuff that people post in this subreddit is just illegal stuff. Oh, TruOffMyChest. Okay, this is seeking support. This is love after porn. I can't go on an entire month without seeing someone in this podunk.
It's like a really poor neighborhood.
Effing town that he's had sex with. I just wanted to buy lunch meat for F's sake, and there is an ex. Good, so we're behind her, and I just walked away with my son to find the other items we need and left my husband there with his wits.
Wits? Weird.
Why put myself through that? In the 2 seconds I saw her, I already pinpointed the ways I thought she looked better than me, and in my mind my husband saw those too, or at the very least appreciated her being so beautiful because she is, that's not her fault. I appreciate that too. But F him forcing that lens over my eyes. That's what I'm mad about. That's the most insidious part of their addiction and the rippling effect it has on partners. People we might approach normally in other circumstances have become adversaries, and that's not okay. I'm angry because there's a whole other world out there where I don't always compare myself. And in that world, I might have been happy with myself, maybe even friendly with these women. My husband isn't the first to treat me this way, but he's been the longest running A.O. so far, and I became aware of the situation while with him. Thank you for this sub. I'm pissed off that I was so abused in such a psychological way by someone I was so vulnerable with that now I'm effing base emotions and responses have been effed up with. I battle daily with being kind to women, especially if they're attractive, and doubly if I am with my husband. Although I like to be extra nice to women when I'm around him because I don't want them to feel how uncomfortable I am. I'm super nice anyway, but I feel like if I'd had to talk to his ex, I would have been super nice because F him. And some women are really shitty to each other, and I think I was afraid it would go away too. I don't know anymore. I'm doing my best. I had a hard day and I didn't need this emotional mind. F. Anyway.
Poor lady.
So she's seeking support. Yeah. This is like the bread of every day.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's not a thing. I'm sorry. I was translating from Spanish. In Spanish, there's this thing like of Jesus, like the bread of every
Give
day.
us this day our daily bread.
Yeah, the daily bread. So it's like a thing saying like something that you just every day you're dealing with. Yeah, I think like of sex addiction and porn addiction, this is like kind of there's so many bad things, but like I feel like that's kind of like one of the worst effects and impacts, because it's like now you have this perspective of the world, and you see everything like a threat or like a comparison. And on top of that, this like looking at like other women being like more beautiful or being beautiful or attractive immediately makes you feel like less than or like less beautiful or like less valuable. And for women, a lot of our feeling of value comes from how we look, because that's what we were taught. But also like, is it because that's what we were taught, or is it just like a natural thing? I don't know. But so like when women feel less beautiful, it's like they feel like they have less value, and that is really tough, because yeah, like that's really hard. And like it's really hard because that there's this quote that I really like that I heard from a person, and the quote says, what you're doing is yelling so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. So I love that quote, because it's like you can talk to your husband, for example, and be like, hey, I feel like this. And he probably is going to be, well, if he's somewhat nice, he's going to be, no, you're beautiful. I love you. No, I don't care. No. This has nothing to do with you and whatever. But there's truth into like, but what you're doing it screams so loud, it's giving it a message so clear. I can hear what you're saying, that you love me and that I'm beautiful. I hear what you're yelling, what your actions are yelling, which is, I choose others over you. Yeah. Over and over and over and over and over. I look at other people over you. I think other people are more attractive than you. And there's that contradiction. So I feel like it doesn't matter how many times I or anyone says to you, but you're beautiful, but you're amazing, but like, again, like these actions are speaking louder than anything I say or anything anybody says or any expert or whatever, because everything communicates, right? Not just our language, but like our actions communicate, and oftentimes our actions communicate louder, especially when it's an addiction, because it's something that they do over and over. It's not like it happened one time and that's it. It's like it's something that they do over and over. So you're not the only one. This happens a lot. I think this is really natural. I would tell you that I'm pretty sure you're beautiful and stuff, but I know it's not really gonna. I feel like you have a right to be angry, because this is like, really bad. Because probably now you feel like you cannot go anywhere, because everywhere you go there are women, and even if those women are not triggering for him, it's triggering for you, because now you see those women are like a threat. And like that's so sad, because that's also like kind of like breaking the relationships that you have between you and women in your life or other women. And that's really sad, because I feel like women need community, like they like sisterhood to like be healthy. And when you have like this issue of like feeling less than or compared to, or constantly feeling like other women are a threat, you cannot really connect with them in like a sister way, because that's not a sister anymore. That's like that's your enemy or something. Yeah. So I also think like it's really hard to heal from these things if you're still being exposed to the abuse, or like he's still acting out, even if he's not acting out anymore, but like if he's like still having like the impact of the addiction, like with like narcissist patterns, or like sociopathic patterns, and like lack of empathy, like all of that stuff that is not necessarily just the acting out, but it's like all the like it's like addiction is like an iceberg, I'd say. So the tip of the iceberg is the acting out, right? So all the porn or the sex or whatever, and the bottom of the iceberg is like all of this other stuff, right? So you can like, oh, okay, the tip of the iceberg is not there, meaning he's not acting out, but still his behavior is still like narcissistic and selfish, and like lack of empathy, inability to connect, inability to be present, inability to process emotions, like, all that stuff is like really the problem. Oh, my battery is dying. Okay, so even if somebody is not acting out, there can still be a lot of behavior. Like in AA, they call it a dry drunk, right? Is it dry drunk?
Yeah.
So it's like a guy that is not drinking anymore, but he's still a jerk, right? So
Hasn't done any work to heal.
yeah. So the iceberg is still there, even if the tip of the iceberg is not there. Because he's not drinking doesn't mean everything's fine. So if you are being exposed to that, a partner that is like a dry drunk, that they're not acting out, but their healing is not there, then you're kind of exposing yourself to the same trauma, and then it's almost impossible for you to heal. Because the way that I think about it is like, imagine like if you are in the, how do you say, in nature, in the jungle, whatever, I don't know,
Natural world.
in the natural, like in nature, right? And you get a wound, right? Let's say like a lion attacks you and whatever, you get a wound, right? The first thing that you do is like you look for a safe space where you can relax, and you need to get away from the lion, right? Because if the lion's still there, you can't heal, because even if the lion is not attacking you anymore, if the lion is close to you, your body is like, right? So you just cannot heal. So you need to like find a cave or whatever, somewhere safe, and where you can like lay down and relax, and to be able to heal. So that's what happens like when we're exposed to the abuse of addiction, any type of addiction. It's like we need to be safe first to be able to heal. And if we're still being exposed to the abuse, we're not healing, because it's like we are wounded, the lion's still there, I am freaked out that the lion is gonna come and attack me, I can't chill out to heal my wound, right? So I feel like it's the same thing with like emotional pain or abuse or like wounds. It's the same thing, right? So my point is like, you need to figure out a way to like be safe. And if the iceberg is still there in some way or another, then you will never, it's like you're in a hamster wheel. You will never get out of that. At least that's been my experience. What do you need to feel safe? I don't know. That is just, that. But I hope that helps. Okay, is it 40 minutes? Should I stop now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.